Alright, this is the install of the Barton 2-post bracket. Once you have your car securely lifted in the air, we need to start by removing the factory bracket. You're going to need a 10mm deep well socket and at least a 12-inch extension. So we can start by removing this nut up here. And once you have that nut off, you can go right on over to the driver's side and take the driver's side nut off. Now, if you've never had the bracket off your car before, you're going to have a retaining clip on the passenger side. That was put on by the factory so that they could just put the bracket right up there during the assembly of the car. So what you'll need to do is take a small pry bar or a flathead screwdriver and just kind of pry down the bracket on the passenger side. And once you have that bracket off the studs, we just now need to simply pull it off the rear box of the shifter. And once you have the bracket off.
Hi, this is Dave with Barton Industries. At this time we're going to go over the installation of the new Barton bracket. We're going to do it out here on the desktop to make it a little easier for you to see. This is the new bracket, and when you receive this bracket, it will come assembled just as you see it with the two bolts and the clamp on the bottom. You'll also receive a little bit of Loctite. We would ask at this time that you remove the two bolts and take off the bottom clamp at that time. Just set this aside for now. And up underneath the car, once the old bracket has been removed, we would ask that you take this, the whole assembly together, and that you would put it up underneath onto the two studs that are there. Take your two bolts that go onto those studs and screw them up. Don't tighten them, but just get it so it's pretty well all the way up there. And then at that time, once those are in place there, and once again notice that the two studs are facing towards the front of the car, and that these bolts and the sliding piece are facing the back of the car. Studs to the front, these bolts to the back. Now at that time, we would ask that you would raise up your shifter into place, and of course you'll be working from underneath the car. At that time you would take your clamp and your two bolts, and we would ask that you take a little bit of the Loctite and put on the threads. Now you take that clamp and you set it up over this here, and you put them into the holes here, and just bring them up finger tight at that time. Get them both started good. Now they're just hand tight right now. You still want to be able to slide this just a little bit back and forth. Now I want you to slide it all the way back up against this flange right here, and it will stop right into there. Now you would take and you would go back and forth on these bolts here and just keep tightening them right on up. You're not going to hurt anything. Get them good and tight, and that will hold this whole piece into place. And at that time, once these are tight, this is in place, then you would continue to tighten the two nuts up here. Now don't over tighten those. If you do, you will break or strip the studs that are there. So get them good and tight, but once again, don't go so far as to break them. Now at that point, the assembly of this is complete.